Hello there, it's Paula Kensington here, and I wanted to update you on what's been happening in the world of finance and beyond sustainability. Um, I have been busy with hosting latest Future Finance Thinkers conversation, and this month it was really took a different lens because I had a fractional CFO, which is a part-time CFO, a bit like myself, based in the UK, and we had a great conversation on what she's seeing, and I was able to help think about how do we draw the conversation when we have multiple stakeholders that have multiple different um, actions and ambitions when it comes to sustainability. And I think sometimes it's about how to have the language to have those conversations as the fractional CFO, whether it's investor led or whether it's board led or directors led conversations about how ambitious companies want to be when it comes to net zero and beyond. So I wanted to share some insights there when we're getting pulled in multiple directions and how do we cope with that. Some people want to see sustainability as a strategic-led initiative, and others only see it as a compliance-led initiative. So I wanted to share with you a diagram that I've been working on with Future Value, and I'm just going to put that up on, actually, that's not the right one. Let me just stop sharing that, and I will get this up on the screen. Hang on a second. All right, so let's go back to what I wanted to share with you. So I've been working with a company called Future Value Global that are all about regenerative development, and I will speak more about that in our next video. Got some exciting news there, but we've been building on this model, and this might help you when you've got multiple stakeholders having multiple conversations. And basically what this pyramid is showing us is that where are companies, where are you as a company on this pyramid, with compliance-led companies at the bottom and purpose-led companies at the top. So you might think, the Patagonia might be up there at the top, being regenerative, being all about purpose-led, and really being the leadership model when it comes to thinking beyond net zero. And then a wide range of companies, probably somewhere between compliance-led and optimization-led here in the bottom half of this pyramid. And I've got here a line across the middle called net zero. So if we think about how the standards now, mandatory standards, are taking us to net zero in terms of our compliance, actually it's not enough. It's actually about getting beyond net zero and giving back and leaving leaving the world and nature and our communities and the environments in which we operate, leaving it better than we found it. And that's not net zero, that's beyond net zero. So interesting when you think about the companies that you're working in. Are they compliance led? Are they talking in these respects about, is it language around risk and what's the return of this investment and how do we build resilience? And that really is about compliance led. That's just getting to the international sustainability standards. And then if we take a step beyond that, where we start actually thinking about sustainability as optimization, as actually something that could be an efficiency led initiative, then we start hearing language like reimagining, which is basically innovation, changing, disrupting our business models. And then how do we reduce our impact or reduce the negative impact that we're having on materials and the environment and social boundaries? What is the impact that we're having? So this gets us to net zero. And then how do we think beyond that? A lot of companies that maybe are already embracing the TNFD, for example, or they've been working in sustainability initiatives for the last 3 to 5 years, they might see themselves up here as strategic led. They're in that sort of transformation. They're thinking about revaluing their business models, their outputs, their products, their services, and also paying respect, not just to the country and the people that they're operating within, but respect around governance and also around knowledge. And then at the top, we've got this regenerative, how do we give back? So this might be a nice way for you to think about your organisation and also to start sort of shaping some of the language. And here we've got what we call aspects and nodes. So as a business, we're operating within a complex system, whole system. And I've spoken about this before, and something that I've really been engaging with in the last couple of years. So how do we think about all of the different nodes, all of the different aspects in that system? How do we think about finance and governance and the place in which we operate? How do we think about our product, our service, and the technology that we use and that we create? How do we think about the people that we're interacting with? And how do we think about the knowledge that we're creating? And then how do we build trust? What is the quality of the relationship between the entity and the activity and its stakeholders? So this might be a nice way for you to think about it, and also maybe a way to have a conversation with board directors or shareholders around where do we see ourselves? Because I think if we're still in that bottom 2/3 in the next 3 years, we're going to get left behind, because consumers and other businesses are demanding better of ourselves. So that was really the conversation that we had this month in the Future Finance Thinkers. I also spent last week in Sydney at 2 conferences. So I went to the Corrales conference, which is around small business, females in small business. And so that was a fabulous day talking about team and impact and the work that they're doing. And a beautiful cohort of First Nations businesses were presenting to us during the day, and we really learned a lot of things around the challenges that Indigenous businesses have, let alone female-led businesses anyway, are faced with a lot of challenges, but then Indigenous-led female businesses have another layer of challenges that they need to overcome on a daily basis too. And then on Thursday last week, I attended the ASFI, Australian Sustainable Finance Institute Day, and that was a really fabulous day about talking about action and ambition and how do we think about getting, again, beyond net zero. The Honourable Tanya Plibersek came and spoke to us about the statute, the laws that she's trying to pass through Senate that are going to help nature have a lot more rights around, how do we pay and how do we give and measure and account for true value for nature and things that we might have extracted and exploited in the past. So exciting. So this is wrapping up close to the end of the year, and in the next video I am going to share with you my insights and reflections from 2024, but also I want to share with you what's on the agenda for 2025, which is very exciting, including this community, the Future Finance Thinkers. How are we going to go into the new year? There's a different look and feel. There's going to be a different way to engage. There's going to be education and support, and I would love to see you connect further with me and that community as we hit into the new year. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.